Hey everybody, Carla here on day 6, and yesterday I think I said day 6 at the beginning of the video, and I got all these comments on the 60-day page, the 60-day juice challenge page. People are like, what? It's day 6? I thought it was only a day behind, not 2 days behind. Today is day 6, yesterday was day 5, so I apologize for that. I needed to be all electric company in that moment and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but I didn't do that, and yeah, remedial. Okay, let me tell you about what happened to me yesterday. Yesterday, my brother and his unit had a departure ceremony for Afghanistan. He and his unit are going to Afghanistan. They actually left first thing this morning. So they had a departure ceremony in the morning, and then they had hours in between the time that they actually had to report to base. So my family decided that we were going to go to this departure ceremony and then hang out with him all day before he had to leave. I knew this ahead of time. I planned for it. I had juice ready. I was ready to go, right? This turned out to be the craziest food day that I have ever had, or at least that I've had in a really long time. Not that I ate food, because I didn't eat food, but if there was food to be had around me, it was like everywhere I turned, there was food. It was crazy. So they had the departure ceremony in the morning, and the families came together. We said goodbye to the troops, and my brother, my cousin Alex, and their fine first sergeant. Yeah, okay, let me come right back to the point. But afterwards, we thought, well, what do they want to do now? And apparently they had been at the base. They had been at the armory for quite some time. So we thought, okay, let's take them to food. And they're like, oh, let's go to IHOP. What? All right. It's their last day here for quite some time until they come back, so let me just not say what the hell are y'all thinking, but okay, let's go to IHOP. So I'm sitting at an IHOP on day 5 of my juice fast while everyone around me they had steak, omelets, 3-stack blueberry pancake with the blueberry fruit on top, hash browns, turkey sausage. There was all that, and the waitress kept looking at me like, really, honey, what do you want? I said, okay, just water. I'm fine with just my water. Now, in the beginning of the day, I was good with that. Like, okay, IHOP. I looked at the food. I wasn't hungry. I didn't look at the menu, but when I glanced over at the menu and stuff, I looked at the stuff like, okay, you really don't want any of that. I didn't feel like, oh, let me just grab a little piece off somebody's plate and no, I didn't have any of those reactions or feelings, but it was a trial. Later on in the day, we're still getting my brother ready. We're getting his huge rucksack, prepared, and they hadn't eaten since IHOP, and thought, well, let's order some pizza. What? Okay. So they ordered Domino's pizza with wings and all this stuff. I was like, what people? Do y'all see me? Now, when you're on a juice fast, you can't, just like somebody shouldn't, they shouldn't project their stuff on you. You shouldn't project your stuff on them. It's not about expecting the people around you to stop eating because you're not eating, but I don't know, yesterday I was, okay, folks. Now, the night before I had spent over with my family, and my mother had chicken with vegetables, and my aunt had popcorn and all. So it's like 24 solid hours of people in my space eating around me, which is not something that I'm used to. It's like, okay, folks. So by the end of the night, I was pissy, to say the least. I was, okay, we gotta go. It's just not working for me. At one point, my brother kind of put the pizza near me. I said, you know what? If you have any love for me whatsoever, you really need to move this from me, because even though I knew I was not hungry, I didn't need all that aroma just smacking me up in the nostrils. You know what I'm saying? I was so pissy by the end of the night. My mother kept looking at me like, what's going on? It's like, because I didn't need to be pissy about food or anything like that in that particular situation. This is about my brother at this moment. This isn't about me. This isn't about anything that's going on in my own head or in my own universe. This is about my family time. Later, as I was driving home with my mother and we were on our way back to her house, I really had a chance to stop and think about what was going on. Because like I said, I did not feel hungry at all during that time that we were together. I had packed my juice. The only thing I didn't pack was my water. And anyway. So I didn't have enough water yesterday, but I'm making up for it today. It wasn't about the juice. It wasn't even about the food. It was about the stress. I have been a stress eater in the past. Now, when you think about, in this situation, my brother, who's the only brother I have, it's me and him, Wonder Twins since the beginning. My mother calls us not knuckle the head twins. It's just, it's been me and him forever. Now, he is a soldier. This is what he loves. This is what he loves to do. I completely support his going to Afghanistan, because if I told him, I don't want you to do this because I want you to be an accountant, that's not who he is. He's a soldier. It's what he loves. And so I respect that. But the very real possibility of the fact that I will never see this person again, who I have seen, my entire life, every day of my 36 years, not every day, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, 36 years. That's here in my head. Then I think about my parents and how they were emotional yesterday, and all of us together, and my brother was kind of stressing, and it's all of that is what the food pissiness was really about. It's not about the fact that there's pancakes in front of me and I can't have them. It's about the underlying, I am in a really stressful position right now and my family is right here with me. All of us are feeling it and trying not to get emotional because we don't want him to get emotional. He doesn't need that on top of the fact that he's leaving. So you have to kind of keep it all back. Everybody was feeling that yesterday. You could see it. I could see it in my mother and my father. I could see it in Joseph. That's what it was all about. And to be able to drive back with my mother and talk about that and say, this is what's really coming up in me. It wasn't the food. It was my stress. And so that was a really huge moment for me. Not just the fact that I was surrounded by the ridiculousness of the food all day, but it was the fact that I could really identify what was going on. Now, in the past, I was the biggest food number that there was. If there was something wrong stress-wise, I'm like, okay, McDonald's! And I wouldn't have to feel it. But to be able to juice through that stress and juice at that moment and think, this is something that's huge for my family today. I'm out of my routine. I don't have my water. I have enough juice, but still there's all this food that's getting thrown at me and my family stress. And to be able to just kind of move through that, still feel it, but move through it. That was huge. That was huge for me. So yesterday when I was going through all this emotion, I had texted a friend and I was posting in this group, this really great group of juicers that I talked to on Facebook, and I was like, this is some bull. When you get me to the point where I start swearing on Facebook or almost swearing on Facebook, then there's an issue. But then to be able to back down from that and see, no, really, this is what's going on. It's not all of this, it's this. That's the power of juicing. That's the power of being raw and being able to really sit back and identify what's really going on with you. So if you're starting to feel some frustration, or you want to vent or vex or cry or any of that stuff, make sure you do that. I had to do that yesterday. Make sure you do that. Write in your journal or feel the emotion, talk to a friend. I'm telling you, juicing buddies are your friend. Call your friend, text your friend, something to be able to get out and get to what's really going on in that moment. It was freedom, really. So if you all could send love and support for my brother, that would be awesome. Awesome, awesome for me. And I will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow is day 7. 1 full solid week of juicing. I can do it. I know you can too. I'll see you tomorrow.